Closed captioning for the Let's Dine Out show provided by Holiday Cafe, your neighborhood diner with 2 locations in Ontario and Mr. D's Diner in Laverne. Ready to satisfy your hunger and budget? Let's Dine Out is made possible by support from Food for Life Baking Company, makers of over 60 organic, all-natural sprouted baked goods, as well as gluten-free and vegan products. Food for Life Baking Company, dedicated to better health since 1964. Foodforlife.com. Sanborn's Air Conditioning and Heating, providing installation, maintenance, and repair of heating and air conditioning systems for home and businesses throughout the Inland Empire. Sanborn's Air Conditioning and Heating, 5-star comfort for 4 generations. SanbornsAC.com. And viewers like you, supporting local public television. Thank you.
I'm food critic Alan Borgen, member of the Southern California Restaurant Writers. I've been finding the best restaurants in the Inland Empire and Southern California for over 27 years. This is my job. This is my passion. Let's dine out. Hi, I'm food critic Alan Borgen.
And I'm Trisha Jansen.
Welcome to another delicious edition of the Let's Dine Out show, where we sacrifice our waistline and show you some of the best restaurants in Southern California.
Speaking of waistlines, Alan, I hear you're going to the gym.
Yes, I admit I'm going to the gym.
You've gone to the dark side.
I feel like it's been a year. It's only been 3 times, but so far so good.
I'm really proud of you.
But enough about exercise. Let's food, please. Let's talk food.
All right, food. First, we're off to Lake Forest for a wonderful Italian family restaurant called Peppino's. Then we travel to Anaheim Hills for some delicious Middle Eastern food at Rosine's, an upscale Mediterranean restaurant you won't want to miss.
Opened since 1984, Peppino's Italian Family Restaurant in Lake Forest is a popular New York-style eatery that your entire family will enjoy. The dining room features an assortment of family and celebrity photographs on the walls, giving the restaurant a real sense of community, while the exciting menu is sure to take you on a delicious culinary journey throughout southern Italy. With recipes handed down from generations to generations, you know owner Joseph Muscatello and his friendly staff put a lot of love in their food preparation and treat their loyal customers like family. You know, Tricia, you've been bugging me, literally bugging me
Yes.
from the day that you found out you were my post to come to this restaurant.
I
and
have.
You know something? I'm glad I listened to you.
You listen to me. I love it.
I always listen to you.
You know, Alan, I've been eating here since I was 17 years old.
So that was like, what, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah.
Well, let's jump into it and see if you're right.
I'm ready.
Okay, first dish we tried was a sausage Ferranzano, $17.95. This is sliced Italian sausage sauteed with fresh garlic, onions, and a red Marsala wine marinara sauce, Romano cheese, and cheese stuffed tortellini. It's tricolored. Very, very nice dish. Now the sausage is really neat. It's his own family recipe. Someone else makes it off the grounds, but it's his own family style, sausage. It's loaded with fennel, and just a combination of everything. Well, it's so nice. It's a tortellini. It's got al dente. It tastes fresh as if they made it here, and just the whole dish really worked.
I would agree. I'm not a huge fan of sausage. We always talk about that. But this dish to me had everything. It was, I want to just call it, I always say this all the time, cheese love. The sauce, the way they sauteed everything and then they tossed the cheese in it and then it melted in there. It was creamy. It was rich. I love this.
Good stuff.
Yeah. And then next we had the ribeye Florentine, $26.95. This was amazing. This was a 12-ounce ribeye steak, grilled, seasoned and topped with grilled onions, mushrooms, and it had melted blue cheese crumbles on it, served with cream spinach on a bed of creamy rigatoni. This was amazing. I love the saltiness of the blue cheese crumble on top. It had that earthiness from the mushroom. This was like the epitome of the best steak. What did you think?
It was very, very good. Ribeye, I mean, you can't go wrong with ribeye. My only complaint against ribeyes is it's a little fatty, and I got, of course, the first chunk I had was the fat, but that comes with the territory. But no, the steak was excellent, perfectly prepared, and the proportions. That's one thing about this restaurant.
Huge.
They're not chintzy.
Yeah, huge portions. And again, the pesto, the spinach gave it a very bright flavor, and it was on a very creamy, I don't know if it was just a butter, like a fettuccine, but a very, very light, or not fettuccine, an Alfredo sauce. It just had a very great flavor to it.
Very good.
A nice accompaniment to the steak.
Then the veal Sorrentino, 1995. Now you don't see veal too often,
No.
but mostly it's because it's real expensive.
Right.
But they're not chintzy here.
No.
This is 8 ounces. It's cut up into 5 medallions.
Yes.
They pound the heck out of it, so it's nice and thin, and it's sautéed with mushrooms, onions, bacon. Keyword: bacon. Black olives with a creamy Marcella wine sauce. Then it's baked with mozzarella cheese, and you get a side of spaghetti and meat sauce. Delicious. As usual, veal is tender,
Yeah.
but this was amazing. But what really did it was the bacon. That bacon really brought it to...
really converted you to bacon.
But bacon really made this dish
I agree.
different than anybody else I've ever had it with.
I agree. This was amazing. First of all, the veal was so tender. So often the veal is very chewy.
It can be.
This is milk-fed veal. It's very tender, fork tender, if you will. That smoky bacon, the flavors together. Oh my gosh! I went in for a bite, and I think I had about 5 or 6. Next, we had breaded shrimp parmesan, $22.95. This was 5 huge jumbo butterflied shrimp that were panko crusted and deep fried, and then he sautéed a red wine sauce with over linguine with melted mozzarella cheese. This was delicious. What did you think?
I've never ever seen this in any restaurant. I thought it was delicious. I love shrimp. This is succulent. I love the panko. It's real crisp.
Crispy. It was crispy.
Yeah, it was a stunning dish. Very, very nice.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of shrimp. I like it. I'm a huge fan of chicken parmesan, eggplant parmesan, you name it.
But this is a nice take to it because I've never seen this in any restaurant.
Yeah, and if you're a seafood lover, I think you'll really like this.
Speaking of seafood, pescatori, $24.95. This is a huge portion of linguine, and all on top and around it, you've got fresh clams, 2 types of mussels, fresh halibut, jumbo shrimp, calamari, king crab, sautéed with garlic, red or white wine. We had the white wine sauce, served again over linguine. Nice presentation, great seafood. I love the freshness of everything.
Again, I'm not a huge seafood lover, but I thought that this dish had a very light flavor, and it allowed the seafood to come through.
Right.
So I liked it. I thought it was very good.
Coming from you, that's good.
I know, right?
That's a good thing.
Next, we had the pasta Toscana, $13.95. This was just, yum. This was sautéed capicola and onion and Romano cheese and a light red creamy masala sauce. To me, this just had a really great flavor. It was creamy. Had a little bit of a kick to it in some ways, but I thought chicken would have been a good addition to it. What did you think?
Yeah, it needed something, and I thought chicken's a little more texture to it.
Yeah, it just needed a little something.
Charge an extra couple dollars.
Yeah, we did, however, get a side of meatballs on this because I'm a meatball fan, and I have to say, Peppino's meatballs are one of my very favorite meatballs. So for $4.95, you can get 2 really large meatballs, and these are an 80-20 blend with fresh soaked bread, eggs, Parmesan cheese blend, and fresh parsley. These meatballs are amazing.
What's nice is it wasn't too dense and it wasn't mushy.
They were perfect.
It's just perfect.
They're perfect. And the next dish we had was Peppino bread, $8.95. Alan, this is a dish I remember having, I think, I'm not even going to say how many years ago.
Over and over
Peppino bread. This, I don't know why it's so fabulous to me, but the flavors are so great. This is pizza dough, and they spread garlic butter on it, and then they put pepperoni and mozzarella cheese, and they roll it up, and then they bake it, and they top it with some more cheese. And of course, they serve it with either a marinara or a meat sauce. And they cut it open, and I'm telling you, this is like the epitome of comfort food. It's gooey, it's salty,
it's crispy on the outside, which is very important. And I love the sauce. The meat sauce, to me, it's a little sweeter than the other sauces they serve here. And just a perfect combination. It really goes well.
Yeah, this is something I could eat 24/7 and be really happy, although I'd be huge.
But happy.
But happy. Yeah, it's cheese, it's pepperoni, it's that sweet sauce. I mean, really,
all goes together well.
It all goes together so well. I highly recommend that.
Now, if you go to Italian restaurants, you got to get pizza, and they have some great pizzas here. We had the large New York Works style pizza, $17.95. This is a very, very large pizza.
Yeah.
It was a medium thin crust, I should say. It wasn't real thin, wasn't real thick.
Right.
Kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
With pepperoni, Italian sausage, green peppers, onions, black olives, mushrooms, mozzarella cheese. What I liked about it was the dough. It had a nice crunch to it, and it just the flavors really turned out nice. And it's just a nice combination. It's simple, and that's one thing about this restaurant. They don't go. It's not a food restaurant. It's just down to earth. Family
Good food.
tradition, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted you to review this because you're the pizza king. So I
Yeah.
was waiting for you. I know I already know I like the pizza, but I wanted to see what you thought. And you're picking up the crust and you're feeling it, and it held up, and you're like, oh, this is a good crust.
Yeah, no, it's very good.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're both in agreement. We love a real thin, crispy crust, and I
Right.
know that Joe does do a real thin crust.
You can tell if
ask
you
for
want it
that.
thin,
Yeah.
he'll make it for you. So.
Yeah, but this was a perfect medium crust.
Then we had a couple of desserts.
Yes. Oh my gosh, the cannoli, $5.75. This is handmade here. This is amazing. Mascarpone cheese and ricotta, chocolate chips, powdered sugar, and then it's served beautifully with a drizzle of chocolate and the chocolate jimmies on it and powdered sugar.
Now, when you said made here, the whole shell, everything
Is made here. This is an authentic cannoli, which is almost nearly impossible to find in Southern California, in my opinion.
Now, they also wanted them to know that they make their own buffalo mozzarella cheese.
Yes.
They make that here on a lot of the dishes. And so they try to make as much as they can here. Pasta's kind of labor intensive, so they really don't make that here.
Right.
But it's made fresh for them. Now, our other dessert was very special because I had to order it. Joe, the owner, he said, you got to try this. It's chicken marsala, $17.95, and you never argue with Italians, so we ordered it. But this is a 8-ounce breast of chicken that they pound, so it becomes a lot bigger, actually.
Yeah.
And it's sautéed with mushrooms, onions, in a beef stock, butter, Marsala wine sauce. And it was served with a side of spaghetti with their meat sauce, and very nice rendition. Lots of mushrooms, which is a really good thing. The butter just has a nice finish to it. And if you like Marsala wine, which I do,
Yes.
it's a real nice type of wine. It's all alcohol's all burned off, so you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
But it's a very unique flavor and very good dish. What were your favorites?
I had a hard time nailing it down because I like everything. I would say the sausage faranzano. I love that. It was cheesy. It was just, I loved it. And for me to say I love a sausage dish is crazy, but I did. I mean, that was the first thing we ate, and I think we sat there and kept picking at it. Next, I'm going to say the veal Sorrentino. I love that. It had a great smoky flavor, that bacon. I have to have a bacon dish in there. And eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm going to say the Peppino bread, just because it's my history. I love that Peppino bread. If you had nothing else, and if they had a stand on the side of the road and just sold Peppino bread, they would be millionaires.
Maybe they should name it the Trisha bread.
I know, right? It's just, I love it. So good.
Well, my favorites are a little close. Veal Sorrentino, I really like that dish. It was just a nice combination of all the ingredients.
Right.
I also like the breaded shrimp Parmigiana. Very different.
Yep.
I've never seen that anywhere.
unique.
I know, it works. And it's really good.
I agree.
And my third choice, if I had to choose three only, the pizza. Really nice pizza. I like the crust. It stood up to all the ingredients. They weren't, chintzy with the ingredients.
Right.
And again, that's a theme to the whole restaurant. You get value here,
Yep.
just quality food, and again, you feel like family, which is a good thing.
For you to say that you like the pizza, that is a huge compliment to Peppino's, because we all know that you're a pizza judge at the Pizza Expo, and that is the one thing. Every time we go to taste somewhere, if there's pizza, I'm always like, oh, here we go. Alan's going to do his pizza taste test. So that's a huge compliment that you like their pizza.
Well, like
That's
I
great.
said, you always accuse me of not listening to you. I listened to you. I'm glad I did.
Well, let's pack this up and head off to Anaheim Hills to Rosine's and try some Mediterranean cuisine.
Sounds good.
Located in Anaheim Hills, Rosine's Mediterranean Restaurant is a beautifully decorated restaurant with modern details and finishes, including a gorgeous bar, a stunning wine case with an extensive wine list. Mama Rosine and her staff use only fresh ingredients in their dishes that are inspired from her Syrian and Lebanese family roots, while her eldest son Hagop's passion for wine pairings makes this upscale Mediterranean restaurant an eatery that you must experience.
Well, we finally made it here. Thank God for toll roads.
Yes.
I love it. A couple dollars. Well,
Well
definitely
worth it.
Definitely. Now, this is a restaurant I'm very familiar with. They had a location, a satellite location in Corona.
Right.
And unfortunately, it just didn't make it. I think if they went there now, it would be thriving.
It would be huge.
I'm very good with other people's money. But here at Anaheim Hills is their first location. It's a beautiful location, nice people here. And,
Yeah. And it's centrally located, so even for those of us in the IE, it's not far to drive.
Well, let's start with the first dish.
Absolutely.
There's a chilled mesa. This is $15.50. This is a combination plate, kind of all little appetizers.
Yeah.
The first one was hummus. Everyone knows about hummus. Puree garbanzo beans with tahina sauce, which is sesame paste.
Yep.
Lemon, olive oil. Simple but delicious.
Delicious.
Then they had tabbouleh. This is one of my favorites. It's chopped parsley, onions, tomatoes, some bulgur wheat, onions, some mint, olive oil, and lemon. Then there's baba ganoush, the best.
Yeah.
This is fire roasted eggplant with tahina and olive oil. Absolutely delicious. Put on pita bread. You're in heaven.
Absolutely.
Next there was muhammara. That's a tough one. This is walnut caviar. It's chopped walnuts, pomegranate, red chili pepper paste, olive oil, breadcrumbs. And what's nice about this, it's real dense. It's got some heat to it. And the Middle Eastern food you usually don't find much heat.
Right.
This one had it.
That dish to me is decadent. That's the only word I can think of. It's sweet, it's salty, it's savory, and it has that kick at the end. I love it. I mean, there's nothing, I've never tasted anything like it before. I absolutely highly recommend getting
once
that.
Once you get past the name, you don't have to pronounce it,
Well,
then it's good.
you can call it the walnut
caviar
or pate.
Then they had sarma, which is 2 rolled grape leaves with herb, rice, and toasted onions.
Yes.
Very good. And then they had the pickled relish, those bright purplish relish that they have. And there's a nice beginning. I think it's something you can share with people, and it just gets you going. Now that's the cold plate.
Right.
Now we have the hot plate.
We had the hot one. I had the hot mezza, $17.50. This again, like the cold one, is a must when you come here. They have the cheeseburg and the meatburg. Now the cheese one, think of a cheese pastry filled with love. I mean, this is just, it's jack cheese, it's onion, parsley, and herbs in this encasement of love. Like, that's all I can say. This was so good. A pastry, so good. The meat one is equally as delicious. It's lamb and beef with herbs, and then it has a whole pine nut in it, which is interesting, gives a crunch. Both of those are so delicious. The flavors are just so good, and they're very comforting. It's comfort food. You know, it's crunchy and salty and sweet. Then they had kebbe, which is the bulgur wheat and pine nuts, and it has beef and lamb in it as well, and it's also deep fried, but it's a ball. Very good, has a great flavor. And then falafel, everybody I think pretty much knows about falafel. It's great. Garbanzo beans, onions, garlic, cumin. That cumin flavor really comes through. Lots of herbs, the coriander, and then of course she has all the little tasting dishes, the dips, the tahini, and then she does sometimes you can get garlic if you want it, or the hummus. And these are just every single one. I can't say that one is better than the other. I keep tasting them. No, I like that one. No, I like that one better. They're all so good.
It's a great dish to have. It's an appetizer. It's just a nice beginning.
Yeah, for sure.
Now let's get into the big boys here.
Yes.
The lamb shank. This is $27.95. This is about 1.5 pounds lamb shank that's seared in its own fat, slowly cooked with red wine, garlic, rosemary, onion, and lots more garlic. And it takes about 3.5 hours to make this, so it's tender and juicy, absorbs all the liquid. It's served with your choice of either mashed potatoes or stewed green beans. And then it comes with, which is made with tomatoes, onions, garlic, and an au jus gravy. I love lamb. I love this dish. Very moist, very juicy, a little fat to give it that nice lamby flavor, and it's just a great dish.
I agree. This to me is a Middle Eastern kind of down-home country cooking type dish. It's like what you would expect Sunday on the farm, you know? And the green beans with the stewed tomatoes and the garlic, the flavors, I mean, they've just been stewing in that all day, and they're just delicious. I also love the flavor profile with the rosemary and just very simple flavors, but just really well done.
I agree.
We agree.
We agree.
Shocking. Next, we have the porterhouse, the pork porterhouse. This was $21.95. This was a 16-ounce bone-in pork chop. This is like the Fred Flintstone portion. Huge. It's grilled perfectly, and it comes with a sweet balsamic reduction. We had mashed potatoes and then a grilled vegetable kebab. You know, what can I say about it? It was perfectly cooked, the pork. I like the balsamic reduction because the sweetness of that balsamic really pairs well with the pork. You know, that salty sweet combination, but not overdone. It's very subtle. And then I love the char on the vegetables for the kebab. I mean, who doesn't love a grilled kebab, veggie kebab?
What impressed me was, porterhouse steak is usually a beef steak. No,
Right.
this is not. This is from pork.
This is pork.
And I don't think I've ever seen it in a restaurant, and it's a delicious cut of meat.
It is, and it's huge.
You like huge? Speaking of huge,
Yes.
the next plate.
Yes.
This is the Ultimate Kebabs, $36.95. This is 5 skewers actually.
Yeah.
One is beef tenderloin steak. Next one is leg of lamb chunks. Then we have lule, which is kind of like kofta. It's beef and lamb, kind of like a burger type meat. Then we had chicken kebab, and then a nice kebab of grilled veggies.
Yeah.
And it was topped with onions and the sumac and parsley on top. I thought it was excellent. The different flavors you get. This is enough for 2 people easily.
Easily.
And you get this came with mashed potatoes, and we got wheat pilaf on that one.
Yeah.
And it comes with hummus and the spicy aioli. Just a nice combination. Get your pita bread. You can make such great sandwiches.
Oh,
out of this.
absolutely. You know, fill your pita and almost like a fajita. Fajita pita. Everything was really delicious. The meats were perfectly cooked. Again, the char and the vegetables and the meat. And we kept going in trying the different flavored meats in there, and they were all equally good. I would say the chicken was probably my favorite, but they were all really good. And next we had rotisserie chicken, $13.95. Now I was not excited about rotisserie chicken. You know, rotisserie chicken's rotisserie chicken. However, this rotisserie chicken was really special. They dry marinate it, salt, pepper, and garlic. Very simple. It's a half a chicken, but the flavors of the chicken, it was so moist and tender, and the skin. I'm not even one to eat the skin. The crunch on it. Crispy. Delicious. This we got with a wheat pilaf, which was delicious. It was very buttery and had a great flavor profile. Very simple, but a great profile. And then it comes with ratatouille, which was delicious, eggplant, red and green bell peppers, onions, tomatoes, garlic, and carrots. This stew of vegetables was just decadent. It was delicious. And then last but not least, desserts. Oh my goodness. Okay, so wipe your mind of any dessert you've ever had before, because this one's going to top the cake here. I say that every episode, but I really mean it. This one is called the Old World Dessert Sampler, $18. Folks, this is amazing. This has a sampler of about 5 or so different things. There's a farina cake, which is a cake that they use yogurt in and not butter. So it has an interesting taste. I'm not a huge fan of the farina cake, but it is good. Then they have a creamy baklava, which what they call is a wet baklava. So it's basically the same, what you're used to, the flavors with the nuts and the honey and all that, but it's in a wet sauce, so it's a little bit more moist. Then they have the traditional baklava, which is amazing.
And everything's made fresh here.
Fresh made. And then they do this, and then they have a walnut cookie, which is very much like a butter cookie, you know, just a very simple, dusted with powdered sugar. And then the rice pudding. This rice pudding, folks, decadent, silky, creamy. They drizzle, the rice pudding has a drizzle of honey on it, comes with strawberries and blueberries on it. I mean, this is really decadent, folks. You have to get the Old World sample dessert plate. I mean, if nothing else, you must get that.
Well, what are some of your favorites?
Well, obviously the Old World dessert sampler. I'm a little excited about that still. Definitely the rotisserie chicken. It's a simple dish, but just so delicious. And I have to say the hot mezza. I love the crunch and the different. I like to taste different things at one time.
Well, mine are a little bit more heavier the dishes. I
Okay.
had the lamb shank.
Okay.
Oh, it's just so good, the gravy and
Yum.
everything. Then we had the pork tenderloin. That was one of my favorites because I've never seen, again, this cut of meat
It's unique.
in a restaurant. Very different. And the ultimate kebabs. I love kebabs.
Yeah.
And all their kebabs here were first class. Lots of flavor, juicy, tender, and everything just flowed together so well. And especially with pita bread, you could eat 10 loaves of pita bread, if there's such a thing as a pita bread loaf, which there isn't, but you can eat a lot of them. So
Yeah, I think the portions are really big, and it is a good value. I mean, it's a higher end restaurant, but the food is just so spot on. You just
Right.
can't go wrong with anything here. But get the dessert sampler.
Well, folks, we spend our money, we gained our weight for you. Now it's your turn to come on out here and try the 2 restaurants. You're not going to be disappointed.
No way.
Until next time, this is food critic Alan Borgen.
And Trisha Jansen.
Happy eating, everybody. Okay, now you can finish this. It's,
Okay,
it's a
get-
take. Put your menu
To-go
down.
box.
Just put your head in. Here. Oh, come on. You're eating like a woman. Do like you did before. Just stick your face in it.
Eat it.
No, that's pretty excellent.
Let's dine out.
Closed captioning for the Let's Dine Out show provided by Holiday Cafe, your neighborhood diner with 2 locations in Ontario and Mr. D's Diner in Laverne. Ready to satisfy your hunger and budget? Let's Dine Out is made possible by support from Food for Life Baking Company, makers of over 60 organic, all-natural sprouted baked goods, as well as gluten-free and vegan products. Food for Life Baking Company, dedicated to better health since 1964. Foodforlife.com. Sanborn's Air Conditioning and Heating, providing installation, maintenance, and repair of heating and air conditioning systems for home and businesses throughout the Inland Empire. Sanborn's Air Conditioning and Heating, 5-star comfort for 4 generations. Sanborn'sAC.com. And viewers like you, supporting local public television. Thank you.